Thank you so much.
Mahnur, it's live.
Okay, hello everyone. A very good evening to you all. This is Mahnur Khan, a UK admission officer from HR Consultants. So at the very beginning, I'll discuss a little bit about the HR consultants, what the HR consultant is. So HR is a leading consultancy company in Pakistan that has been working in Pakistan since 1993. And our aim is to provide a high quality education options to our youth for the better future of Pakistan and our society. So today we are live with Robert Gordon University for our students. And at the very first, I would like to welcome my colleague, Ms. Sundas. She is also admission officer of UK. So welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mahnur.
Furthermore, I would like to welcome our guest, Mr. Benedict from RGU. He is an international officer at Robert Gordon University. So welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here today.
Welcome. Okay, so now I'll give a little introduction about Robert Gordon University, what the university is. It's basically commonly called RGU, and it's a public research university, and in the city of Aberdeen, Scotland. It became a university in 1992 and originated from an educational institution founded in 18th century by Robert Gordon. The purpose of the university is to provide adult education and technical education. So RGU is a campus university and it's single campus in Aberdeen in the southwest of city. It is the main campus in which all academics and administrative departments are located. And furthermore, about the departments, the university awards degrees in a wide range of disciplines from like bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees, primarily in professional, technical, health, and artistic disciplines, and those most applicable to business and industries. So a number of traditional academic degrees programs are also offered, such as in the social sciences, engineering, law, business related programs. Okay, in addition, the university's academic and research staff produce research in a number of areas. So this is all about the departments or the academic. And furthermore, if I talked about the ranking of university, so according to the QS Global World Ranking, it ranked 801, 2000 in between, and it is ranked in UK. The number is 8686. Okay. So if I talk about the further facilities and services of the university, so university provide many facilities and services like library, housing, sport facilities, and financial aids. And moreover, we will discuss today about the university criteria, scholarship, entry requirements, accommodation, and much more. So stay connected with us, people. And so now, Ms. Sundars, I would like to request you to kindly proceed this live session further. Over to you, Miss.
Okay, thank you so much, Mahnur, and good afternoon, and I welcome you all to this platform. It is a very great platform provided by HR Consultants. For our students who wish to apply for a foreign education, I welcome you, Mr. Ben from RGU. This is a great platform that we can discuss about what RGU has to offer to our international students. So just before starting, I would like to briefly discuss about the upcoming updates related to RGU. RGU is ranked among top 10 universities that offer good graduate employability rate of 97.6. So the graduates from RGU have good employability opportunities, whereas it is ranked third amongst the UK for international student satisfaction. So it is a good university that offers a diversity of courses in postgraduate and undergraduate departments. Further, regarding this, regarding the facilities offered by RGU, we will discuss it with Ben. Before proceeding further, I would like to share with my viewers that they can drop in their queries related to their applications on the numbers given on the screen. That is 034647477016. So Ben, I hand it over to you. Please share us what RGU is and what it has to offer.
Thank you so much for your kind words and for introducing RGU and giving all our stats, which are really, really impressive given the UK diversity and the market itself in terms of education. So what I will draw in is I'll go in straight into the run through the history itself, just mention that, a few brief achievements, talk about why you should come to study in Aberdeen. Then I'll talk about the cost of living, fees and scholarships, mention a bit about accommodation, then talk about our new business courses we come with 1-year placement, the English language requirements and the updates as well, and then talk you through how you could apply with your CV and personal statements, and then give you a brief summary and then open it out for questions. Okay?
Okay, that's perfect.
So as my colleagues have said, we are a post-92 university. However, that doesn't mean that we just happen on the scene. We have over 290 years of history dating back to 1729 in our belt. And RGU itself has so many accolades and awards that we've gathered over time. And one of them, as my colleagues have said, is our graduate employability rate. And why it is so important is that we understand that the university is not the end point of our students, that they desire to go into profitable, fulfilling careers. And so we make sure that we prepare them for that pathway. So we'll always engage in our courses, that our students have practical elements embedded in their courses. So by the time they graduate, they come out not just with skills, but also with the confidence and experience of all those tools of industry. And at this point, I'd like to say that for every single one of our courses, we do not launch a course except we've sat down with industry experts to ask them, what are employers looking for in this course? What do they want students to come out with? And this feeds back into how we teach our courses. So our students come out having used the equipment that they will be using at work, having been exposed to all the industry practices that they would actually have been exposed to if they came to work. So this gives our employers the satisfaction that our students don't need to be retrained when they come to work. They hit the ground running because they already have that experience. They have that exposure of what a workplace would look like. This has made us rank 46th in the world for our graduate employability rates as of QS 2020. And to give you a fair understanding of what that means, there are over 1,900 accredited universities globally, and we're ranked 46th. So it's quite an achievement for us, which is a good testament of what we actually do here in Aberdeen, in RGU. Now, why you should come to study in Aberdeen. Aberdeen itself is ranked as one of the top 10 cities to live in the UK. It's one of the safest cities as well. And we are literally called the oil and gas capital of Europe. So it gives you a fair idea of how urbanized the city is. Good road network, there's fantastic facilities all around the city, internet connectivity. We have our own international airport, which gives you ease of access in and out of the city itself. The university is just about 9 miles away from that airport. We have our train network as well, which is good. And because of all the facilities that here, our robustness gives us, the city itself, over 16,000 students who come to study in Aberdeen every year. So it's a robust thing that we have going on here, and would like you to be part of that story. Also, 90,000 alumni across the globe from RGU is a fantastic network for every single one of our students to tap into, to network with in terms of where they want to work and where they want to find themselves in the future. Okay, talking next about the tuition fees. For our tuition fees, on average for an undergraduate course, on average it's about 13,670. And for postgraduate courses, the average is about 13,720. This is an average of what it looks like. The MBA itself, because of the uniqueness of the MBA, which is the first MBA in the world to actually get a triple accredited rating from AMBA, BGA, and AACSB, it is totally out of this world. It's gotten several awards for being best MBA online, best resource, and it costs about $19,800, which is a good investment, good return on your investment for other MBAs ranked globally. And what we do as well to ensure that our students have the best experience, we'll also put in place scholarships that will help our students get along with the fees that they have to pay. For undergraduate students, we have a scholarship in place, which is a merit-based scholarship of £3,000 towards the first year tuition fees. So any students who applies to RGU and meets our entry requirements will get this scholarship applied to them. Then we also have the Vice Councillors Undergraduate Scholarship, and these are for very high performing students who will come into the undergraduate program. And what it does is it covers 1 year full tuition fee. So it ranges between £12,000 to £16,000 for an undergraduate student for 1 year of their tuition fee. And then for postgraduate students who are applying for the MSc, once they meet our entry requirements, they get a £2,000 scholarship applied to their tuition. Beyond that, there are also external scholarships that we advise our students to also pursue. The Chevening Scholarship, the British Council Scholarship, and then there's also the South Asia Scholarship, which applies to students from Pakistan. And we, as much as possible, want to encourage students from Pakistan to apply for the South Asia Scholarship. And this pays the full tuition for a master's course. And I think we have currently about 2 South Asia scholars from Pakistan who are actually studying in RGU. One of them comes from HR Consultants, and that's proof of the kind of work that HR Consultant does with us in Pakistan. So I'd advise and encourage you to apply with them. Now, in terms of student life, as I said, we are just about 9 miles away from the international airport, and getting into Aberdeen is quite easy. It's either you do a connecting flight through Europe or do a connecting flights through any of the cities in the UK, from Glasgow to Edinburgh, to Newcastle, to London, Manchester, or Birmingham. From London, if you connect a flight from Pakistan and land from Karachi and land in London and connect to Aberdeen, it's just about 1.5 hours from London to Aberdeen. I think generally the entire flight time should be about 14 hours from Karachi into Aberdeen. You can also drive up by car or connect by train to get into Aberdeen. It's really that easy to connect. Then with regards to cost of living, I myself have been an international student, so I understand that cost of living is a really, really, really important factor to consider. And I always advise students that when you want to consider a school, that you look at what the real numbers coming out of your pocket are. It's not the offer of accommodation, not the offer of scholarships, but how much are you actually going to pay? How much are you going to pay for fees? How much are you going to pay for living, for accommodation, for feeding, for transportation? This all adds up to what is actually coming out of your pocket. And for us, it is a good deal for students to come study in RGU, because beyond the fees, the affordable fees that we have in place, Aberdeen is actually a relatively affordable place to live in, despite it being such an urban city. For example, a 1-bedroom flat in the city centre in London will cost the students about £1,600 per month, whereas that same accommodation in Aberdeen will cost the student about £450. So there's a real huge cost difference that you could actually save. Also, transportation in London will cost a student about £132 in a month, but when you come down to Aberdeen, it costs you about £54. So there's a real price difference that you can see. And this is something I always encourage students to sit down and crunch the numbers with your calculator and know what the difference is. What are you getting for your investment? More so, Aberdeen itself has a host of part-time jobs that are available for students. In fact, students in Aberdeen are the 3rd highest part-time job earners in the UK. So you have a really, really good opportunity to get part-time work in Aberdeen. Though it's highly competitive because of the large number of students, but there's still part-time work available for you. What your visa normally would allow you is 20 hours per work week as a student while school is in session. But once school is not in session, you can actually work 40 hours per work week. And this spreads across all subjects that you apply for. It's what's going to be on your visa, and gives the students the opportunity to earn just a little bit extra when they come to study. Also, we understand that traveling from Pakistan to come to Aberdeen to study presents its own unique challenges. It's a new school, new faces, new city itself. There are new practices, new meals that you need to adjust to, and it kind of puts a toll on you sometimes. So what we've done is we created a team of staff that actually help students to settle in. They're called the Rest Life Team, and they're located in every single RGU accommodation. However, despite the fact that they're located in those accommodations, students who also live in private accommodation have access to this team. Now, what this team does is to help students to settle in by organizing social events across all the student bodies throughout the entire year, giving advice to students, offering them support if they need, maybe some student might need some support in locating an accommodation or moving accommodation, or maybe getting a bus ticket. Those kind of support that the student would normally need, the Rest Life Team is available to give that student that support, because our goal is to make your experience as a student as pleasant as possible, so that you can have time to focus on what you really came to do, which is to study and come out with good grades and eventually get work. Okay. Also, throughout the students' year here on campus in Aberdeen, we offer career support for all our students from enrollment. Immediately you enroll, you have access to career support. And this allows you to plan your career trajectory. So there are online employability tools that you can access, training you on how to write a CV, what a cover letter looks like, what you need to say, how you need to craft your LinkedIn profile. There are job search tools that are available for you as well, so you can search for jobs that are related to what you want to do or where you want to work. And we also have a career consultant appointments that are set in. So if you want to actually plan what your career will be, if you need guidance and counseling in that regard, we have expert career consultants that are available for students to access. And what they also do is they help students to plan mock interviews just to test their interviewing skills and make sure they have the right skills to do the interview properly when they do go for the job, as well as to do mock assessments for the students. And occasionally throughout the year, you have employers coming into campus to interview students, to speak to students, to tell them what they're looking for, and have students speak to them about what they can offer. And through this media, we've had students secure from part-time jobs to full-time positions post-graduation with this company. So it's a good opportunity for students to explore once they enroll. You don't need to leave it to when you're about to graduate. You can start from the day you enrolled. With regards to student accommodation as well, as I said, it's a very lovely city, and Aberdeen itself has a vast array of private student accommodation. However, the university itself offers 5 university accommodation sites, which are more than available and are able to take on all the students that will come to RGU. They are the Woolman Hill Flats, the Koyili Student Village, Craigiver Development, the Ramsey Development, and then the Gaddi Towers. Now, all this student accommodation are easily accessible to students to come into campus or leave campus. Some you could walk to and from. Others, especially the Woolman Hill Flats, you'll need a bus. However, there are 2 buses that actually come onto the RGU campus, the bus number 1 and bus number 2. And these buses are about 10 minutes apart during 10 times. So it's not hard for students to access these buses. And they run very close to those student accommodations. So students can easily get on those buses and get to campus, or get on those buses to get back home. However, what we normally would advise that a student, when they do resume on campus, that they try to see what their calendar looks like. So you don't get to buy a 1-month bus pass and then realize maybe you only have to be on campus maybe 3 times in a week. So it might be a waste. So just be able to see what your calendar looks like so you can know what exactly your bus ticket will be going forward. As I said, there's a host of private built accommodation all around the city itself. Two of the nearest ones to campus are the Caledon Court, which is provided by Fresh Student Living, and I think the Ab11, which is provided by U students, very, very close to the campus. However, there are a host of other student accommodation provided by private builders. And it's just like the university accommodation itself, because it's open to only students. There are self-catered apartments. You have en-suite and shared options. So depending on what your budget is like and what you prefer to do, you have those options to play around with. Also, occasionally throughout the year, you have some of these accommodation offering special packages or discounts. So it's good to explore what fits your budget, whether you want to live in a city center, or you want to live in school or close to the school.
Okay.
And
further, when we have some questions coming in, so just let us know how can what are the entry requirements for Pakistani students, especially HSCC qualified. What are the entry requirements for them? Just discuss the points that how can they have a direct entry to the university or a pathway entry. Please put a light on this so that the students can get information regarding this.
Okay, for courses, the entry requirements for courses differ. And for students who do not meet the direct entry requirements, they will be considered for the pathway entry, which is the International College of Robert Gordon University. The good thing about this pathway is that if you're doing a 4-year course, once you finish the pathway, you will not go back to year 1, you go straight into year 2. So you will complete your degree in the 4 years required for you if you're coming directly. So
okay,
you do not lose.
Very good news. This is a very good news.
Yeah. And also what the pathway provider itself, ICRG, is not located outside the university. It's located on the same campus as the university. So students who go to the pathway program will have the same experience as every other student. Their ID card is no different. Their student experience is no different. So it gives them the opportunity to get in.
Okay, so what is the minimum percentage that is required for direct entry and for the pathway process?
For the pathway processes, to get the state board exams, to get 59% minimum for state board exams, level 12. Okay. For direct entry, students who have a international baccalaureate or international high school qualification should have BCC to CCC. And then if students who have a 2 or 3 year bachelor degree, 59.5% minimum can get into the undergraduate degree directly. Then for students who want to do the postgraduate degree, they should have a 4-year bachelor degree or equivalent. And on a 4-point scale, I think it's about 2.5 GPA or 60% to 69%. And for a 5-point scale GPA, they should have 3.5 or 60 to 69%. However, if they do have a master's degree, if they have a 60% minimum, they can also get on the PG.
Okay, that's great. Ben, there is one more question, that what is the criteria for the students who have done 2 years BA and 2 years MA? Can they get admission in MSc programs, in postgraduate programs?
It is possible, but they will need to apply to the school at first, because most of those applications will be on a case-by-case basis. So I would encourage the students, there's a good chance that they can get into the PG program. So they should please send in an application and it will be assessed.
Okay. The current due to the current situation, because of the pandemic, the only things and the only priority concern is about the IELTS exam.
Okay.
So what alternatives to IELTS do RGU accept? And if the student is O-level and A-level qualified, can they be promoted on the basis of O-level's grade? And do you accept English proficiency letters from the bachelor's graduate?
Okay, for the English language test, we follow the UKVI standard English language test requirements. Unfortunately, we don't accept O-levels from universities as well. We don't accept a bachelor's thoughts in English certificate. What we'll do, we'll accept our IELTS, PT academic, the Cambridge GCE O levels, that's the high international high school qualifications. And then we've also updated our entry requirements, our English entry requirements with English tests that students can actually do virtually from their laptop, from their home. So there's the TOEFL internet-based test, the IBT, that they can do from their laptop. There's the IELTS indicator test as well that they can do from the safety of their home. And then we also have lingual skill, which they can also do from their home. And there are a host of other tests that they can find on our English language requirements website.
Okay, so can you please discuss on the score level that is required by RGU in lingua test and in IELTS indicator test? Is the score same as similar to IELTS, or do you have any flexibility for the students?
It's the same. Depending on the course, some courses will require higher, but on average, for undergraduates, it's overall for IELTS is 6.0 with a 5.5 in each element. For lingual skill, it will be 170 overall. For PT is 56 overall. Then for postgraduate is 6.5 overall. For PT 6.1. For lingual skill 175 overall.
Okay. Ms. Manu, do we have any questions from your end?
Yes, I have. Ben, I have a question related to RGU courses. Like any top-up programs offered by RGU, and what is the eligibility criteria for that process?
Top-up, not all the courses offer top-up programs. I believe there's one top-up program for MSc in accounting, and I can't off the top of my head recall the eligibility criteria for that, but there is a top-up accounting course.
Okay, all right. Or for postgraduate degree or undergraduate degree, does RGU deal with migration or transfer cases?
To transfer points?
Yes.
Well, those criteria will still depend entirely on the school in question, because what the school wants to do is look at what the student has studied, look at what modules they've covered, how it maps with what is being taught here in RGU. So it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. The student will need to send a copy of what their transcript looks like for the school to map it with what they've taught, and then decide whether they can offer him a place in whatever stage they can.
Okay, all right. Like as you all know about that, many students ask us about the scholarships. So as you mentioned that the scholarship is around £2,000. So is this one is fixed one, or it's based on the academic records?
It's based on them meeting the entry requirements to enter. So if they meet all the entry requirements for the course they've applied for, undergraduate students will get a £2,000 merit-based scholarship, and £3,000 merit-based scholarship, and postgraduate students will get a £2,000 merit-based scholarship.
Okay, all right. Actually, I just want to know about the that which type of placement programs RGU offers. Like, can you tell us about our viewers the work placement postgraduate programs?
Okay, so
which type of?
Beyond the post-study work visa that the UK government is offering, which students are going to be qualifying for students coming from September 2020. All our business courses currently offer one-year placement option besides the MBA. So what this means is that students will come in and indicate that they want to go for a business course with placement. So rather than 12 months, they will be doing 24 months. And they spend 1 year in school and getting prepared for the placement. And then they will apply and secure the placement. And once they secure the placement, they will now go into the placement where they will, beyond doing the placement, they will also do their capstone or their final year project. And that placement year is a paid placement year. And on average, you have students earning about £16,500 per annum in that placement year. So in a sense, the program itself pays for itself.
Okay, all right. Actually, Ben, I just received this question from one of my students because he is interested for MBA program. So can you please tell me about the MBA program criteria? Means how much experience is required for MBA in RGU?
Well, the RGU MBA program, I believe, requires students to have, I think, about 3 years work experience.
Okay.
Before they come on the course, just with it just shows the dynamics of the course itself, so that students can actually be able to contribute and discuss what they need on the course. Beyond that, they will need to have a 2.2 or second class undergraduate degree honors at least, just to contribute to the class.
Okay, all right. So my next question is related to CAS documents. Like what documents are required for CAS letter?
So for students who apply to RGU, they would either receive a conditional or unconditional offer. By conditional offer, that means they have things that they need to meet. It might be their English language requirements, it might be submitting a motivation letter, it might be submitting maybe their degree certificates, and then paying their deposit, which is 34% of their tuition fee. Now, once they meet all these requirements, they will go into unconditional. At that unconditional stage, they don't need to send in any other documents. All they need to do is just wait for the immigration officer to get across to them to get them prepared for the CAS stage. In the CAS stage, he will begin to request the documents that UKVI would generally want. Could be a TB test, bank statements, just to prepare them. And then once all these things are in place, then the immigration officer will issue them a CAS letter for them to use to apply for their visa. And this CAS letter is always issued no more than 3 months before they arrive on campus.
Okay, all right. So I have another question related to this CAS. Is there a joint CAS for pre-sessional foundation program and pre-master's program?
Yeah, if for students who are coming for pre-masters or foundational program, there is a joint CAS issued for those students. So they don't need to leave and return. They will receive a joint CAS.
Okay, all right. Ma'am Phyllis, do you have any questions?
Yes, Ben, since RGU has definitely prepared the schedule of the upcoming classes and the start classes, so what is the expected date of your start class for postgraduate and undergraduate both?
28th of September.
20th of? Sorry?
28th of September.
28th of September. And yeah. What is the expected date that you will be issuing classes?
Well, from next month, we will start issuing classes for every single one that has qualified or gotten to that stage. But for every single one that has gotten an unconditional offer, the immigration officer will be in contact with them, asking them to provide him with documents that he needs to move them to get classes issued.
Okay, and what is the minimum deposit required by RGU to save their seat and for the CAS issuance?
34% of the fees.
34% of the fees. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing. Usually our students, they look up into programs such as in business department and engineering department. One of my students is asking, can you just mention about the accreditations that these two departments hold?
Yeah, for our business courses, as I said, most of them are not launched until they are accredited or met with industry. For some of our courses, as I said, the MBA itself is triple accredited. It has the AMBA accreditation, BG and AACSB. We also have courses that are accredited by the Chartered Institute of Marketing. Also have courses that are accredited itself by the Public Relations Institute. Then we also have courses actually accredited by the PMP, which is the Project Management institution in PMI, sorry, Project Management Institute in the United States. So these are all spread all across our courses, that no single course is launched without accreditation being in place. And some have held accreditations. For example, the Scotland School of Architecture, some of their courses, they've held it for over 100 years, like the RIBA accreditation. So it shows that there's consistency in the accreditation that we hold.
Okay, we have one more question. That is for HSCC students, since most of them have completed HSCC Part 1, and for the students who awaited their result certificate, so how much time they are given to submit their original certificate?
So we understand that there is a disruption in the educational system right now because of the pandemic. So what we advise students normally to do is to begin the application. And in that application pack, if they have evidence of their transcripts, they can actually have that uploaded while they apply. And then in their offer letter, it will be stated there when they need to send in the other documents. But it will normally be as soon as possible so that they can move on to the CAS stage and then submit their visa application.
Okay, so one more question is that RGU International College, do they offer any scholarship awards? Because £2,000 you were discussing about the university division, but what about the international colleges? What do they offer to our international students?
I believe ICRGU offers some discounts. I'm not sure about the scholarships they offer at the moment, but I believe they offer some discounts for their courses.
For the international college?
Yeah, the international college itself.
Okay. Ms. Manur, do we have any questions from your end?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Ben, thank you so much. And for the viewers, I have some good news coming up shared by Mr. Ben. First of all, for the students who want to apply in MBA, they are going to get a chance to get an admission in accredited MBA with minimum 2 to 3 years of experience. Secondly, RGU is offering very good amount of scholarships, that is for both undergraduate and postgraduate students, for postgraduate admissions. This is the right time to proceed with your applications. You can drop in your documents on the numbers displayed on the screen. And for even we have good news regarding IELTS as well. Alternative to IELTS, such as IELTS indicator is being accepted, and various other tests of accommodated by RGU is being accepted. Whereas for accommodation concerns, which is the major concern, which is one of the concerns that our international students have, they also offer a very good packages by Robert Gordon University. So, Mr. Ben, do you have any final words for our viewers?
Well, the final words that I would have for them is come to RGU and experience what it is like to study in Scotland. We're very warm, welcoming people. It's affordable, one of the best cities for you to live in and work in and study in and get part-time work as well. And then there's a robust Pakistani community also here waiting to welcome you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ben. It was indeed a great informative session for our viewers. We are definitely expecting a good amount of applications that RGU will be recruiting. And for our viewers, it is again a very good opportunity to apply in Scotland, which is the most amazing destination. It is considered as one of the beautiful destinations in the world. So we have Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen. So this is the best time for our viewers, for international students watching this session, to proceed with your application, to drop in your documents on the number displayed. We will guide you. We will help you with the application process. From now, Miss Mahnoor, do we have final words from you?
Yes, I have. For the viewers, so people can contact me on this number, which is also mentioned in the screen, and also contact me through my Gmail address, like hr65@hrpakistan.com. And furthermore, stay home and stay safe.
Thank you so much, viewers, for joining in. Stay home, stay safe, and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.